Hi, I have a mobile order for Morgan. Hello everyone, it's Morgan. We're doing a little Q&A today. I just stopped and got a drink from Dunkin' to fuel this little car session. I think it might be a new drink actually. It is the brown sugar cream cold brew, and I am such a brown sugar stan. Any like brown sugar flavor I love. So I posted a weight loss journey style video a few months back, and a lot of new faces are from that video, I believe. There was the most incredible response to that video. So many people sharing their stories, so many people saying such good things. I got amazing feedback. Like literally the comment section is incredible. I wanted to take any questions from there as well as any other questions I got on my community posts, Instagram posts, things like that, and just do a chill Q&A about that entire video, my entire experience. Let's get into it. I tried to break these up into categories best I can. I will add chapters or put the timestamps in the description box. So let's start with food. One of the main questions, biggest questions I got was what recipes did you use? What food did you eat? All of that, which I very much understand why this was asked. The thing is, you're not gonna like my answer, okay? I did not do all this crazy research to get like the best, most nutritious, like healthy recipes. No. My kind of standard routine is I would have a smoothie in the morning, which just consisted of various fruits. So like berries, bananas, whatever. I would try to add some greens and water. I didn't do any crazy powders, anything like that. I just tried to have a smoothie in the morning with whole foods because that is what made me feel best in the morning. I find that I do like to start my mornings with fruit rather than carbs, which you can start your day with toast. Like that's not a bad thing. That is just what made me feel best and what set me up for success throughout the day. As far as recipes, I would really just go to Pinterest. I would go to TikTok. If I was in the mood for something, I would search up a healthy version of that. I love the Emily Marico salmon bowl. You can't go wrong with that. So I just honestly really tried my best to work at balance, and I used Pinterest and TikTok to help me with finding good recipes. I did show that healthy bagel recipe a lot of people liked. I linked it in my previous video. I literally found it from a TikTok. I will link it in this video again. And I got specific questions on that smoothie or like a green drink that I often had. That is really what it consisted of. And part of the reason my answer is so vague is because I want you to find things that you truly enjoy. Remember, it is about eating good, but also not torturing yourself. Next, someone asked, do you have any advice for cravings? This is something big where you can definitely try to find swaps for. For example, if you are a really big ice cream person, maybe try to find like a healthier frozen yogurt that doesn't have a lot of additives and maybe is a little bit better for you. However, if you like randomly on a Friday night are like, oh my gosh, I could go for a nice chocolate chip cookie, and like the healthier version you find just like doesn't cut it, doesn't satisfy you, on occasion it is okay to go into those cravings and have one. Have to. Treat yourself every now and then. You just really do have to be self-aware. Next, I got a lot of questions about calorie numbers. For example, how many calories a day were you eating when you exercised? How many calories a day were you eating when you didn't exercise? Honestly, I don't know. Like, I didn't count my calories, and I got a lot of other questions about that. Did you count your calories? Would you recommend counting your calories? Honestly, for someone like me, I would not recommend it because I'm the type of person to hyperfixate on the numbers, and that's not good for me mentally. And if you know that you could fall into that trap, I don't think you should be. So for how many calories I ate, I literally don't know, and I think it's better that way. I'm not saying that nobody should count their calories. It might work for you. Maybe you're someone who should focus more on like counting your macros, whatever that even means, but I know some like fitness gurus do that. I don't know. So again, an answer you might not like, I don't have a number for you, and there is no magic number. However, a really good question off of that was, how did you know you were in a calorie deficit without tracking? This is super great because you're correct. I mentioned how I tried to eat in a calorie deficit, but I didn't count. So it's like, well, how do you do that? In the beginning, when I was, you know, not having the good habits, I did try to count my calories, track a little bit more. And so from there, I kind of knew how much I typically ate in a day. And through my Apple Watch, I kind of had an estimate of how many calories I burned through a day. So while I don't believe in counting calories like item by item every single day, it might be smart to kind of get an idea on like, okay, traditionally I eat this many fruits, this many vegetables, like I'll have like this much in carbs. Like maybe you should kind of get an idea of how much you eat in a day. And also you could calculate your basal metabolic rate. That might be the right word, that might be not the right word. Again, this is showing how much I literally don't know. And that's the beauty of it. Like you don't have to know everything in order to get a healthier lifestyle. But It might be smart to, on average, know about how much you eat in a day, what you're burning kind of at just like a neutrality state, and kind of what type of workouts can burn you what type of calories. So just kind of ballparking to help you know, but also you can kind of feel. Someone asked if I used a recipe app or where I got my recipes. Again, mostly Pinterest and TikTok. Someone also asked what my grocery essentials were. I feel like this is pretty hard because I am the worst grocery shopper. Like, I don't have grocery essentials. I would always make sure I had good fruits and good greens for like the smoothies that I made every morning, just because that was one part of my routine that I did really like to stick to. But what I recommended to someone was, okay, there are so many like healthy grocery hauls and videos out there, specifically on YouTube, probably TikTok, whatever. Watch some of those and write down things that you know you like to eat. If you gather from a bunch of different sources and kind of just make a list of things that you know that you eat regularly or enjoy very often routinely, you could kind of come up with your own essentials list from there. And again, all of this is kind of trial and error, but that might be a good strategy to try. Someone asked me, what is a good coffee for losing weight? Coffee is something where I feel like, yes, I did treat myself coffee today, but my go-to coffee, I literally just make it at home. I'll do either a hot coffee or an iced coffee, and I'll just put cream in it, like your traditional International Delight or Coffee Mate or whatever creamer. I don't always do something crazy. I'll have a latte or a cold brew or whatever every now and then, but I didn't specifically target coffee for losing weight. I did try to order coffee less because usually when you order it, there might be like more sugar and things like that. So I did try to stay making it at home. Someone said this, and I thought it was so funny. They said, wait, so bread isn't our enemy? Please no, bread's not the enemy. Carbs are not the enemy. You need carbs. You need to burn carbs. Carbs are good for you. It makes me so sad because I was literally so afraid of carbs, and I know that that's like a real thing and a lot of people struggle with it, and I hate that because I love toast. I love carbs. I love pasta. I love it all, and I eat it now, and I don't feel bad. Please eat carbs. Please know carbs not the enemy. Please know your body needs carbs. Someone else asked, do you have a dairy intolerance? Because I did mention bloating a lot, and a lot of people commented that dairy can make you bloat, and yes, I believe you. I have heard that before, whatever. I don't have stomach pain or like IBS from dairy or anything like that. As far as I know, this could be something that I could test out, and I do try to limit my dairy, but it is something that I will never eliminate from my diet because I love cheese so much. But if you related to all the like bloating and stuff, maybe test it out for yourself. Someone asked, what type of diet is this? Please know, I was not following any diet. There's no diet that I want to follow because I know I cannot stick to a diet, and I know following a specific diet is not necessarily good for me. I like to think of a diet more as like what you consume, not like a diet in terms of like a fad diet or something like that. So if you want to follow a diet, I suggest eating more whole foods. That is the only diet that I want to be following because it's not good for me. I won't do it. Someone also asked, what are my go-to meals? I mentioned that smoothie I liked a lot. I do a lot of chickpea pasta as well. I do a lot of the Emily Burrico bowls. I eat a lot of toast, honestly, just because I like toast, whether it's avocado toast with egg. We know that's like such a trendy, like popular meal, but it is so good. I also love peanut butter toast. I love pretzels and hummus as a snack. I do like salads, but I need to really dress the salads up so I don't get bored of them. Someone kind of asked about, you know, knowing the difference between cravings or kind of like eating intuitively, and my best advice for that is to check in with yourself and just make sure you are being self-aware. Am I giving into my cravings every single night? Because if you are, like, no, you should probably have a little bit more discipline. Or have I been eating well? Like, is it okay to treat myself every now and then? You know, like, you need to check in with yourself often, not only about food, but about everything else. But just try your best. I feel like I'm good about having self-awareness. Well, first half of the video, you clearly saw that I didn't have good self-awareness. And this is something that you learn a lot through the process. Like, you learn kind of how to be self-aware, but I think at least daily, you just need to be checking in with yourself. And if you're not sure, consult someone, ask someone that you love and trust, like confide in someone, DM me. My DMs are open. There's nothing better than community. And from that, someone commented and was like, I feel so safe here. And I was like, wow, this is probably like one of the best comments I've ever received. If I can provide a safe space for you, my job is done. The last thing about food, super, super important actually. In one of my clips, I showed me drinking a tea from Teamy Blends. And someone commented this and I had no idea. They said, be careful of your reasoning for drinking Teamy. I just received a check from them about 2 months ago because they were sued for not making the right claims for their products. Don't think that their T stands for their health and weight and fat loss benefits like they claim. So thank you, Gigi, so much for commenting this, because I had no idea. I don't want to be like showing something or recommending something that is not like true to what they claim. If you've tried them or whatnot, just be careful. Know that they're being held responsible. Next, on to exercise. Right away, there was a lot of questions on the 12-3-30 and everything. I did do an entire separate video on my treadmill workout routine. I will link that below if that would be helpful for you. But let's get into the exercise questions. As you know, the main workout I did do was the 12-3-30 because I love it so much. Some people mentioned it wasn't for them. Totally fine. The key is finding a workout that you love and that works for you. Again, this is something you find a lot through trial and error. I'm a huge 12-3-30 stan, but if you're not, like, don't think that that's the only way that you're able to exercise well for your body or lose weight or anything like that. Somebody asked, did you use the handlebar for the 12-3-30? The reason I love the 12-3-30 is because it is such a good workout where you can adjust all of the stats, the incline, the speed, the time to fit your best needs. When I first started it, I held onto the handlebar so like the entire time. I don't even know if I started at 12 incline or if I started somewhere like 10 or 11, or even if I kept it at 3 speed the whole time. I honestly don't remember, but I know that it was something where I worked up so much. So yes, I did hold on to the handlebar in the beginning. Present day, I do not at all. Someone else asked for advice for beginners with the 12-3-30. Please just start off slow. Start with whatever progression you need. If you need a 10 incline, do a 10 incline. If you need an 8 incline, do an 8 incline. If you need a 4 incline, like literally start wherever is best for you, whatever speed, whatever incline, whatever time. If you can only go for 10 minutes, only go for 10 minutes. Again, this is kind of with the self-awareness thing, like know what your body can handle, but you need to still challenge yourself. You still need to be strict on like, okay, am I being lazy or is this as much as I can do right now? And what I would like to do specifically with the handlebar, I would hold on like the whole workout in the beginning. Then as I got used to it, I would try to go like every other lap. I'm a really big on like playing kind of with the stats as I work out as a challenge, if that makes sense. So like, for example, like maybe the first lap on the treadmill, I would hold on. I would take my hands off the second lap, hold on the third lap. And then as I got better, maybe I would like let go for 2 laps and then let go for 3 and so on and so forth. So kind of playing around with what you're able to do, or maybe go by minutes. Like, okay, the first 5 minutes I'm gonna hold on, then I'm gonna let go for another minute. I like to use the time, the laps to kind of measure my progress. And I do think that's a good way to kind of accurately do it. So then like the next day I can be like, okay, I did this yesterday, I'm gonna try this today. Just know wherever you start is not where you're gonna end. So it doesn't matter. As long as you start, that's the hardest part. Next, someone said, how did you stick to the 12-3-30? I get this because it can be a long workout, and since you are walking the whole time, you might get bored. That is where I had all the entertainment lined up. I think in like November, December area, Dancing with the Stars was on. So every Monday, Tuesday, whatever, I'd watch it on Hulu the next day. And it was like a 75-minute show because I have the ads version of Hulu, whatever. And I loved to watch that show, so it kept me engaged and the workout would pass so fast. So find a series that you like, watch it while you're doing the workout, or find a bunch of YouTube videos. Binge my vlogs, self-plug, binge my videos. Go to my channel, hit play all. Otherwise, just like find videos or things that you can constantly switch from. If you get bored, that you can get re-engaged and it'll pass the time. I truly believe if you have something that you're very interested in, that the workout goes by a lot faster and a lot easier. If you're watching something and you notice you're getting bored and you start to like feel the workout setting in harder, switch to something else. There's no harm in that. Just really try to find some loyal entertainment that is gonna help you through it. Someone asked, how did you push yourself and stay motivated? Honestly, a couple things. One, as I started feeling better, I wanted to continue these healthy habits, which was motivation in itself. I feel like you just get no better feeling than getting in a good workout and eating well and like feeling so energized and so good that I craved the feeling. I wanted to feel good. There was also specifically with the 12-3-30, I felt like it gave me not only like a good workout, but it gave me such mental clarity. I felt like I sweated out all my troubles from the day, and like that feeling is what I craved as well. It was like a little therapy session. It was just such a good mental cleanse that I craved that as well. I had all these things I was looking forward to. Set yourself up for success. Also, once I did start seeing some results, I know oftentimes like in my video I'd be like, I look the same, and some people even commented, they're like, when you said you look the same, like I already saw you like changing, or I already saw results, whatever. Once I did start seeing like a little here and there, it was definitely motivation, and just knowing that like I was working for a sustainable success. Like I knew that I had to be in it for the long run. Like I kept telling myself day day to day. Like every step of the way, like you are working towards something, like you're gonna get there, you're gonna get there. And yes, I'd have bad days. Yes, I would have days where I would skip a workout. I would eat like bad, whatever. Like you're gonna have bad days, but also just accepting that it takes time. You're gonna have bad days. It's not linear. Like being so real with yourself, I think is one of the best things you can do to help you stay motivated. But also know you're not gonna be motivated every day. You're just not. A big key too is just finding a workout you like. You like it, you do it. Going off of that, someone said, what did you do if you felt like you were backtracking? There was definitely times where I'm like, wow, I feel like I'm like working for nothing, or like this workout was so easy yesterday, why was it so hard today? This is another thing that you have to know, that sometimes you will have off days and it's not linear, especially for women. Your hormones can be crazy. Another example, like maybe your diet didn't consist of that energizing of foods for that day compared to the day before, and your workout was harder. Like sometimes that just happens. I feel like I grew to be very accepting of bad days, but again, this is very big with self-awareness, because if you feel like you're backtracking but like you keep backtracking, maybe you need to challenge yourself a little bit more. So you kind of need to recognize whether it's an off day or you're actually not working hard. This is kind of vague, but that is something that you have to learn for yourself, because nobody can tell you if you're having a bad day or if you're actually not pushing yourself. Only you can figure that out. Someone asked like, how did you lose weight by walking? Like they were very confused about that, but I truly believe in the power of walking. Even if you don't like the 12 through 30, please go on more walks. It's so good for you. Like I said, physically, mentally, like I'm just a huge believer in walks, and I just think that everyone should go on walks as much as you can. I did get a lot of questions about what other exercises I did. Routinely, I did do the 12 through 30 just because I enjoyed it so much. Other times I did follow a lot of Mad Fit videos, or I would just YouTube search other workout videos, and I don't think there's any harm in that, especially because I wasn't going for any specific like physique. Like I wasn't weight training. I was just trying to get healthy, you know? So I just did like, okay, maybe I would do an arm workout Monday and then an extra butt and thigh workout Tuesday and then an ab workout Wednesday. I would just kind of incorporate those when I felt necessary. I also have weights in my house, so I would do like simple curls. I would do simple like arm exercises that I already knew how to do. And I did these leisurely just because I wanted to. There is no harm in trying to follow a specific workout program that goes in progressions that might be like a little bit more formal, a little bit more knowledgeable. Like there's no harm in that, because I didn't have a specific like weight resistance training format. Some people were kind of frustrated with that, but that's literally just what I did. Like I just showed you what I did. I didn't say any of it was right or wrong. I just did what I wanted. Somebody asked how many miles and how many steps I walked per day. Steps, I actually have no idea, because I stopped wearing my Apple Watch. I actually sold it. It wasn't really for me anymore. As for miles, I built up to be walking about 4 miles a day. Again, I didn't start out with that, and I do still do that today. Today, since it is nice out, depending on the day, I might do like 2 miles on the treadmill, 2 miles outside. My walking does vary, but I do try to walk about 4 miles a day. Again, that's not a magic number. I'm just telling you because I did kind of build up to do that routinely, so that is something I kind of stick to. I would do the actual 12 through 30, and then I would kind of lower the incline as I go to finish out the rest of the time walking. Someone asked, how can I slim my arms? Again, I do really like Mad Fit videos. She does have an arm workout video that I really like that's actually not even weights. I will link that one, but I don't think that I necessarily like slim my arms down a ton just from that video. I also still don't like, my arms are not my favorite part of my body. Like, I'm just putting that out there. Like, I'm not in perfect shape, although I have maintained my progress. Somebody asked, how many steps a day should I be walking to burn leg fat? Again, there is no magic number. I'm sorry, but there's just not. Somebody asked, does incline matter? My treadmill does not incline. If you're going for the 12 3 30, yes, incline is literally like the point of the workout. I'm sorry to break it to you, but that like the incline is that workout. If you're not doing that workout, that's fine. You don't need incline. But if you're doing the 12 3 30, like, yes, you need the incline, or it's not the 12 3 30, which is fine. Like, you don't have to do it, but I'm just saying it does matter. I got a bunch of questions about what treadmill I used. I think it's an older version because I couldn't really find it, but I will put the name of it and the best link that I can find in the description box. Someone else asked for people to recommend inexpensive treadmills. I will try to find some, and I will link some down below as well. If anyone else has any recommendations, please comment those. Someone asked, did you gain muscle from the 12 through 30 or from what workout? I definitely gained muscle. Like, I am stronger. I am more toned. I know people say that like being toned or like toning your body is like such BS, but I do think that I like lost fat and like got stronger, and I can't like attribute that to one single workout or anything. Someone asked, how long did it take for the 12 through 30 to be effective? Honestly, I don't know. Like, I just randomly tried it one day and then kept going back to it, and I don't know like when I specifically started seeing results just from that, because remember, I like evolved everything. Like, I changed my eating, I changed my mental state, I changed like everything. So I think all together, it definitely took a few months of all those healthy habits working together to actually get to where I kind of wanted to be. And again, like I'm not at like my perfect body, but I mean, who really is? But it did take a while for me to like really see actual good results. I feel like I kept going and knew it was effective for me because like I could feel it, and I would be sore the next day and I would start doing better in the workout. The progressions were getting harder. Like I felt it, I liked it, I kept going with it, and it worked for me. Someone asked, how often did you do it? Once I started doing it routinely, 5 to 6 days a week. Like that is something that I would do every day, and all the extra workouts were just if I wanted to add them on. And I still do it. I don't really do it like 6 days a week, but I still do it probably anywhere from like 4 to 6. It is still my go-to workout. This was a really good question. Someone asked, what if you start working out every day? Basically, like, how are you supposed to maintain your results? In my best opinion, with my knowledge, I would say if you are kind of changing your lifestyle in general around to be healthier, you're working out good, you're eating well, whatever, your body is going to change. Like they're basically asking like, okay, you can't be in a deficit forever. Like you would get to the point where you're so small, like you can't like be in a super deficit forever. Like yes, but keep in mind if you were like changing to really great healthy habits, you're in a deficit, you're working out, you're eating well, whatever, like you're gonna lose weight from where you're starting. And I do think your bodies kind of have like a point where they like to be at, whereas like you might hit that point and then you kind of have to work to maintain that. I don't know, I feel like this question makes a lot of sense, but I don't really know how to put my answer into words. Like I lost like a good amount of weight and I'm still doing those things that I was doing in that video today, but I'm no longer losing as much as I did initially. I'm still maintaining my results. I don't know if this makes sense. If you have questions more on this, please ask. But I think this was a great question. I just don't know how to put my answer into words. I'm gonna go home and we're gonna finish this Q&A at home. I love a good car chat, but I just cannot handle the heat anymore right now, so. Okay, next for all of the like mental situation type questions. First one I wanna start off with is a strong one because it was more of kind of a comment saying like, oh, I loved your before body, like why did you change it? Like I would love to look like you had before, blah, 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 all of that. I get it. I was definitely mean to myself, but if I don't like how I look and how I feel, I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to change it. This was all for me. Anyone else's opinions on that simply do not matter. So if you are trying to improve yourself, change yourself for the better, simply nobody else's opinions matter. The only thing that matters is if you are doing what makes you happy and what's gonna make you feel good. That is all that matters. Someone asked, did your eating struggles and bad habits affect your mood? Definitely. I underate, I had no energy, I was probably super not great to be around either. I can't imagine what I put my boyfriend and my friends through. It's all about feeling good, not just physically in the sense of like muscles, but physically where you have energy and mentally, all of that. Bad habits affect everything. Mindset, physical health, literally everything. How did you stop obsessing over small things like food, what you ate, number of calories, etc.? I feel like in the beginning, I obsessed very hard. Once I realized that that just was not doing anything for me and that like almost like obsessing too much was going to give me more unsustainable progress, I feel like I almost had like an epitome to like let that go. Like I knew the more I obsessed, the more dramatic I would go and the less long-term my results would be, and I knew that I wanted to do this once and for good because I did do the short-term success before and it was not good. It did not last. I gained all the way back. It's a hard thing to work through, but something that you have to let go. For me, I stopped counting my calories and that helped a ton. Even though it's something you want to control, if you know it's not good for you, you gotta let it go. Did you have anxiety letting eating and food control your life and your social activities? I definitely was someone who like if my friends wanted to go out, I would definitely be scared. I didn't want to put my body through that. I wanted to restrict and just not have fun, basically, if I'm being honest. So I 100% let that like dictate what I did. I'm happy to say I don't now. Remember, it's literally all about balance. If I'm like go out, I try to recover, you know? That's the other thing is once you notice that it starts to take over your life, your social aspects, your friends, like you don't want it to ruin relationships, but that further develops that like you have to have a good relationship with yourself before you can have a good relationship with other people. It starts with you, you know? Did you follow any fitness influencers? No. I know there are great people out there. I did watch the Mad Fit videos, if that counts. I don't know. But I didn't follow any diets. I didn't follow anyone else's advice. I really only looked things up to research, you know, like in the video I think I talked about how I tried to learn about like sustainable results and like metabolism, but those were all like research-based facts. My best advice is to, I don't want to say not because people have good intentions. I just like take everyone's advice with a grain of salt. salt. That's what I'm gonna say. The best thing you can do is take everyone's advice with a grain of salt. Know that not everything is gonna work for you that works for somebody else, and you have to figure it out for yourself. You have to. Following like fitness influencers as inspiration is great, but don't think that they are going to transform you. You are the one that's gonna do that. How did you stop cutting corners for fast results? This is great because I've been through it. I think that's how I did it actually. I've been through it. I know that it doesn't work. I know that if you're just in a severe deficit and like starve yourself for a week, you will lose weight. Like if you're not eating, you're gonna lose weight obviously, but then you're just gonna gain it back. And I think because I've been through that and I know that it's real and I know that that's not what I want, I think that's what made me realize like, dude, like what are you doing? Like this is just not beneficial. It's not gonna work. It's not good for you. It probably could develop some bad health effects maybe as well. So I'm telling you right now, like if you're cutting corners, stop, because it's literally not gonna work. I got this question a lot. It was how long did I take? I put it in the mental category because I feel like if you're so focused on the time, it might be a deeper issue, and just know that it takes a long time. It takes dedicated months and consistency and good practices and good balance. Next was, did you get rid of cellulite and how? Yes, I decreased the amount of cellulite I have. No, I did not get rid of it. Cellulite is something that I think I will have for the rest of my life, and honestly I have come to accept it. This kind of goes along with, I was also asked how I dealt with body insecurities in general. Cellulite is very common, it's very normal, as well as a lot of other body insecurities. If you're insecure about them, chances are other people are too, but just knowing like even the smallest of people can have cellulite. If you have cellulite, it doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. It doesn't mean you're like overweight. It doesn't, like, it literally is just a part of you. Stretch marks too. Somebody called me out as saying like, this is a fake scam video because you don't even have stretch marks. Oh boy, do I. Maybe you didn't see them in the video, but remember what you see online, like you're not seeing everything. I have stretch marks and I think I've had them literally since puberty. Like it wasn't even from gaining and losing weight. I just have stretch marks and that's fine. I really, honestly, you can see them anytime I wear a swimsuit, whether it's high-waisted, not high-waisted, whatever, and I honestly really don't care about the stretch marks. I think the fact that I'm confident in my body right now does help me forget about the insecurities, and because I'm confident in how I feel on the day-to-day basis. Repairing my relationship in general with food, with exercise, with my body, and being happy with how I feel and how I look right now, even though you always think like I could look better, whatever, it definitely helps me forget those things. It's almost like I've repaired so much. It's partially like out of my control. Yes, maybe I could decrease it a little bit more, but it's not even part of my focus anymore. I feel like once you get to such a better headspace and love for yourself, you definitely just naturally start to let those things go. And if not, maybe that's something that you need to talk to someone about, and that is totally fine. But please know that those things are normal, and no matter the size you are, they're normal, and they're more common than not. Someone else asked, how can I lose more than 2 pounds a week? They were saying that that's the most they've been able to do and they want to lose more a week. I'm just gonna say, if you're losing more than that a week, chances are you're doing something that's cutting corners. Chances are it's not sustainable. Chances, if you're in a rush like that, please reevaluate. Slow weight loss is way more sustainable than fast weight loss. Someone asked, how do you stay disciplined? I feel like I kind of touched on this before, but one, discipline with my workouts was finding what worked for me, finding something to pass the time, and just craving that feeling, like I mentioned in the workout portion of this Q&A. Staying disciplined with my eating, being on a routine, okay? I am a pretty decent morning routine person, and sticking to a healthy breakfast definitely sets me up for success throughout the rest of the day. Chances are I'm gonna make better decisions later on in the day. I think creating habits that give you such a good, desirable feeling that you don't wanna not have that feeling, it's almost like addictive, but in a healthy way. I feel like that helps the discipline, the motivation. And another thing that helps discipline might sound counterproductive, but giving yourself sweets, giving yourself salty treats, giving yourself cravings every once in a while, like letting those things happen, I think helps because you're not depriving yourself. The next question kind of makes me pretty sad. It says, should a 12-year-old do this? And it was like asking for advice, explaining their situation, whatever. And like, I know my video is very positive in like a healthy lifestyle, but just knowing that a 12-year-old probably was searching like how to lose weight and came across my video definitely breaks my heart, because when you are that age, you're going through puberty, you're going through changes, you're going through so much. It's such a sensitive time in your life. Just knowing that that type of person is probably searching on like how to slim down and all this stuff, it does make me sad. And I'm happy that I'm someone you found where it's a way more realistic approach, and I'm all for having a healthy lifestyle no matter what age, who you are, whatever. That question, it's like, it's not a yes or no. It's like, just know this is a very developmental point in your life, but your feelings are valid and you should be doing things that make you happy. And just like anybody else, you should be getting exercise, you should be eating well. I hope this person's okay, and my love goes out to you. I'm very sensitive to this, and I don't want to say too much, but I also don't want to say too little. Should a 12-year-old do this? A 12-year-old should do what makes them feel good, healthy habits, but please please know this is a very sensitive, ever so changing time in your life. And I cannot tell you what you should and shouldn't be doing. And this period in your life is also not forever. It's a very hard time, but it's not forever. Next category is very female oriented. It has a lot to do with the menstrual cycle, just things I want to say, the things that I think are very valuable. So I just want to point them out. Your menstrual cycle and the phases have a lot to do with how you're feeling at a given time in the month. So please know whether you're bloated, whether you're super hungry, whatever, like you might feel different and you might not be because you're doing anything wrong. I've seen a lot of things on TikTok of people like how I live according to my menstrual cycle and stuff like that. I think it'd be super great to research into and look into, and I think it's something I could learn a lot from as well. Keep in mind that if you're having a really bad off day, like it might not be your fault, it might be your hormones, it might be the fact that you're a woman. A couple people suggested taking hormone regulators, taking magnesium and B complex, help balance your hormones, drinking a lot of water, things like that. So definitely look into those things if you're struggling with this. A lot of people were saying how they get super bloated and sometimes maybe before their period they feel super hungry. I can actually relate to that, and my advice honestly is to give into that, because I think I read somewhere, again, I'm not a professional, I think I read somewhere that like you might actually be burning more calories like right before your period. So like if you're hungry, like it makes sense. So like if you need to eat more, like eat more. Someone also commented on one of those threads and was like, are these things not taught in America? Like this is very middle school knowledge in like my country or whatever. And I'm like, honestly, you learn a little bit about your menstrual cycle in American schools, but not as much as you should. So if you feel like you're not knowledgeable on the topic at all, do not feel bad. It is not your fault, but you should take it as a sign to learn about it. And the last category is just a couple miscellaneous things. One point I want to bring up that's not a question, that is just something that's so important. I've never thought about this or the way they said it, and I am in love with it. They said, what you consume mentally is just as important as what you consume physically. Let that sink in because it's so true. Someone asked where my joggers were from, the workout pants I wore a lot. I wore them in a couple colors. They're from Amazon. They're like a super bestseller. Great reviews. I will link it below. Someone also asked what blender I was using. It's another Amazon product. It was like a single serve portable blender. I will link that one as well. Someone also asked what earrings I wore. I'm wearing the same earrings right now. Actually, they are from Ana Luisa, which I love Ana Luisa. I will link those as well. I got a lot of these type of comments that kind of annoyed me, and people probably didn't have bad intents commenting them, but I got a lot of things saying like, don't eat dairy, please do resistance training, or you're not going to make any progress. You should try fasting. You should only eat one meal a day. You should really consult a professional. You should try Weight Watchers. You should never mix these foods together. Let me tell you one thing. Yes, this was a very open and vulnerable video. I love that people gave me their opinions, but chances are if I didn't do something like this in the video, it's because I don't want to do it, and I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to give up dairy. I like cheese. I'm not going to give it up. I don't care. The whole point of the video is to find balance and do what you want to do. Another thing, like, you should really consult professionals. Okay, one, not everybody has the money for that. Not everybody has the resources for that. Yes, if you need to and you have the resources, it might be good to consult a dietitian, a nutritionist, personal trainer, whatever. But like the point of this was learning for myself and figuring it out myself and showing you that you can do it on your own, just like I did. And you don't need to follow these rules. Okay, I'm not gonna fast. I don't like fasting. I like to eat breakfast. Okay, I'm not gonna fast. You might do that, that's fine. But if someone is telling you what to do, do not listen to it because they're saying that it's good for you. You need to do what you want to do, and I cannot stress that enough, because people just ranting in my comments saying like, you should do this, oh, you need to cut this out because that's why you're feeling that way. It's like, what do you know? You don't know me, you don't know my body. Like, I cannot stand when people tell me what to do because they think it's gonna solve my problems, because it's not, because you don't know me. And that is that on that. Please don't just listen because someone else thinks they know what they're talking. Maybe you love dairy and you just can't get rid of it. Make some swaps, but like if you love it, you love it. Okay, you're not gonna deprive yourself, okay? Please do what makes you happy, and please take others' opinions with a grain of salt. One more negative thing I need to point out, I'm very sorry, but this is important. Someone commented and said, you're 23, try doing this in your 40s, with like a laughing, crying face. I'm sorry. I know that throughout your ages, your situations, it may be harder, easier, whatever, to change your habits, but I don't care who you are. Whatever your experience is valid, and somebody else's experience should never undermine what you have to go through. That's like saying, I have it worse so you can't feel bad. No, absolutely not. If you're feeling something, there's a reason you're feeling it. Only you know what you're going through. I actually got a lot of comments that I didn't think I would get about my skin. A lot of people said like, what products do you use? Oh my gosh, can we talk about your skin glow? How did you improve your skin? What else did you do besides like your weight loss? Honestly, I didn't even know that my skin looked as much better as people were saying. And I do struggle with skin issues. I think I always will. It's just one of those things, which is fine. I do think though, the water is so big for your skin. I'm a great water drinker, but I do think that attributes a lot to your skin. I also always use like an oil in my skincare routine. I would love to do a skin and makeup routine if you would want to see that. I just don't know if people like actually watch that for me. But in that video specifically, I think I was wearing the Kosas tinted facial oil. Even now though, like I always put on my moisturizer, I put on a little bit of an oil, and then I do like lighter products. I do have dry skin. That's why I like oils so much. Right now I'm really into OG. I'll link their brand below as well. I should have 20% off with them, but I love their face sticks. I just really like the creamy aspect and oils. Big oil gal. Someone commented talking about their journey, and they said that someone told them this. They said, if you didn't gain this weight in 3 months, why would you lose it in 3 months? Which I think is so true. Remember, the huge thing I keep coming back to is that it takes time and it's different for everyone. You have to be kind to yourself, and you have to know that like slow progress is so good for you, and you have to stop being so hard on yourself for it taking time. If you didn't gain it in a day, you're not gonna lose it in a day. If it didn't happen to you overnight, you can't undo it overnight. Please make a promise to me that you're gonna stop being so hard on yourself, or you're at least gonna try. Thank you so much for all the amazing feedback on that video. I poured my heart and soul into it, and I loved it so much, and I'm so happy that people are resonating with it. People are loving it. If I'm helping one person, I am doing the right thing. I hope this kind of helped some further questions. Please comment any other questions you have below. My DMs are always open. I appreciate you so much. Please subscribe. I would love to do more talks like this. I'm very passionate about these topics, even though I am not a health guru. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I think that's what makes it better, is it comes from an average Joe, an average Mo. Oh, that was so cheesy. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I love you, and I'll see you in my next one.